Yo, 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 what's up, Rodney?
Hey, what's going on, Doc?
Oh man, what a week. What a week.
Yes, this was an extremely good week. You know what? Every time I put the setup on, I learn how important the first thing to do is to do the setup.
Right.
I started. I'm the back test. I back test everything. If you
I
tell
know,
me
I
if
know
you
you
come
do.
up if you come up with something new, I turn back around. I'm gonna back test it at least 90 days.
Right.
And so this week, the thing that I picked up was I was like, okay, I was looking at the London close. I was looking at Mo, and like with the London close, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go in and just look at the rotation before the London close, and I'm just gonna put my stuff on, my fibs on that piece. And honestly, I it doesn't work that way. You have to put the full blown setup on there to be able to see everything, to see those subtleties.
Right.
Because without the full blown setup, if you're just going to focus on that previous rotation, you're going to miss out on a lot. And when I was doing the back test, and I was like, oh, now I see the reason why when you post your chart, you had the full blown setup. But even though you turn back around and zoomed in on that particular clock, you had the full blown setup on there. And I was like, oh, now that makes sense. That's the reason why I always tell you when you post your charts, I go back and I look at your charts and see what's missing on mine. And then I start to understand the reason that you're doing it, because you're able to pick up on those subtleties. And what makes your process extremely unique is you truly are starting to understand what direction is before clock even happens.
Right. You're anticipating what's supposed to happen. That's correct.
And it only happens when you truly have the full-blown setup on there.
Gotta have the setup. It starts and ends with the setup.
Yes. And see, you have been telling me that, and I was like, okay, it has to be a way to where I can just zoom in on the 10:30 or zoom in on midnight. But I realize you need the full-blown setup so you can see everything before, which in return allows you to be able to develop your right side of the screen. That hasn't
Correct.
happened yet.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that's here's the thing about the setup. If you're doing the setup, it's going to train you to be on the right side at clock at the time. It's going to keep you out of the wrong direction.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah.
And that is the most important thing far as trading. We got to know direction, right? I mean, that's what everybody wants to know. That's the holy grail. Everybody wants to know direction at a certain time when they trade.
Mm-hmm.
It's the setup.
It's the setup.
It is the setup. It is that simple. It's the setup. Stangem
And
setup. It's the
and
Stangem
and,
setup.
and you cannot short it. You have to go ahead and set it up. Because I
No,
mean,
there's no shortcuts because
it's
you're
no
not going to
shortcuts
learn it.
to it.
Right. You're not going to learn it if you don't do it. It's process. What have I preached? Process.
It's a process.
Process. I'm
It's
showing you my process. Everyone, I'm showing you my process. I set up this. I do the setup every single day, just like you guys do, or you should be doing, or gals. I'm doing the same thing every day. I'm showing you my process.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I mean, I like I said, I tried several times without putting a full setup on there, and I didn't get the results. I know I took, I'm learning at Mo, and I took a loss, and then once I went and put the full setup on there, it told me what direction it was going to go before
Right.
clock.
Right.
And so if people thinking that they can come up with shortcuts with this, no, you can't.
Totally
It
agree.
just,
Totally agree with you.
yeah, it just makes your life so much more easier when you do the full setup and you trust the process. And that was the biggest lesson that I learned this week. When learning, especially when you're talking about, I mean, I'm pretty efficient with the Asia Open, and looking at that, the learning the midnight and learning Mo. I was like, I'm just going to focus on that. What happens around that 12 time frame? No, I need the full blown setup so I could really understand what direction is what the direction was going to be at
Okay,
midnight.
let's also throw the formula in there, right? Because the formula is really what we should be following
Mm-hmm.
first before
Mm-hmm.
setup. The setup gives us a picture, but the formula is what we need to be following. Why the formula? I'm getting ready to show you. You're talking about midnight open right here, right?
Yes.
We got a high, we got a low. Where we at it clock?
Oh, so you're at halfback.
This is NQ. We're talking about NQ.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Y'all know I've been trading NQ for the last, well, all the whole month of February. I've been trading NQ. I've not even been trading ES. Okay.
Same thing, though. Same thing.
Look, but it's the same. It's the same process. Look, high, low, where we at a clock at midnight. Halfback,
Halfback.
high, low, halfback. What are we expecting? This is this candle. What are we expecting? We're reading the right hand side of the chart. High, low, halfback.
Halfback.
What do we get?
Sweep.
Sweep. Target hit. What happens? Reclaim. Does the high hold?
Mm-hmm.
Nope. Now we got a high, low, halfback.
Halfback.
What are we expecting tonight? We're expecting a sweep. We've already swept the bodies. We're expecting a sweep. That's what we're expecting. To where? At least halfback.
Mm-hmm.
Halfback fails, we know we're going to here. And this is all based on Thursday's range for the week. We've already failed the high. We're headed to halfback. We fell halfback. We're headed to the low of the block. We fell there. We're headed to area 51. We hold here. We headed to here. We hold here. We headed to here. We hold here. We headed back to here. It's that simple.
So Doc, there's something else that I went through I would say for this month
Are
of
you able to see the
February.
screen, Rodney?
Yes, is
Okay, I want to make sure.
understanding and adhering to the progression. And for me, that was a transformation in regards to me staying in the trade longer. Because like what you just stated there, it started off at the high. It went to halfback. Halfback, it dropped down. And so it looks like we're probably what about the 45 halfback range where your blue line is at, or is that the?
I'm on the 1 hour here.
Oh, okay, all right.
No, hang on. Let's just drop it down so everybody knows.
But understanding that progression,
right? 15 minutes is our guide. So let's get it dialed down. Okay, here we go.
so just taking it from the high of your box, the
right
blue
here,
box.
right here.
Uh-huh. So taking it from the high, and
then look though, I want everybody. This is the important part. Look, I got the line on the top of the blue box. Where they sell it?
right there at the high.
Wicks, very important. Wicks at the high. They are definitely selling it.
So as soon as it hit it, it reacted to it.
Why though? Because we swept the high, came back down into it, retest. Did we get there? Nope.
Mm-mm.
Now you understand. Now we got to turn high, low, half back, sweep. Why? Because we had a low, high. What's you got to look at before low, high, half back? What was supposed to happen? Sweep to the top side, right? Didn't happen. Right here's the turn. Right here's the turn. Why? Because this is the cross that I talk about. Right here. This is the cross. Right here. If I drew a line right here from high to low, this is the cross. We're below the cross.
And you know what? More times that you point that out, the more I'm starting to see it now,
Yes.
and how important that is. And
But
like
what but look what happened though. This is a previous day high, right?
mm-hmm.
We swept it. When we fell a previous day high and retest, can get there. Here's the previous day high right here. Can get there. We're headed down. And more than likely, we're headed down to the Thursday range low. Why? Because we've already swept the high. We're inside of the range. We retested. We're definitely coming to halfback.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got to see where we are at halfback at clock. Let's see where we're at. If we come down at clock, then we know we're going to bounce up, get halfback, and continue down. If we hold halfback, we're going to bounce up, hold, and we're going to continue up. All we're doing is the setup is teaching you how to read price action. That's what the setup does. I know you don't understand it and you don't realize it yet, but it is teaching you how to read price action underneath the whole model. The whole model of the setup is teaching you how to read the price action at any given time. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. Because
okay, you got your ones that's looking at the moving averages. I got them on here because it's a cheat sheet, right? As long as we're above Stangem line, it's a go. But when we start failing, right here, we start failing. Let's just pull it out a little bit. I want to pull the chart out a little bit and understand once we get above Stangem line, the green line, look, it's holding it. Green line, green line. Okay, we dip below it. Why? Because it's starting to take profit.
mm-hmm.
We're starting to take profit. We're starting to take profit. You got to understand what they're doing. And the Stangem line, the setup, the formula will keep you on the right side if you're confused.
So would you say you're going to need the setup, you're going to need the formula, and you're going to need to understand the progressions?
Yes, it's all about progression with clock because the clock is the most important thing out of all of it because we want to know where we are at clock as per the setup. Where are we at clock, right?
So that's the reason that you would always ask in the room, where are we at clock?
Yes.
Because that's extremely important.
Right, because you got three choices. Are we at the high? Are we at the low? Or are we at halfback? Eliminate the two that are incorrect because that's the easiest thing to do. Eliminate the two that are incorrect. Where are you at? If you're not at the high and you're not at the low and you're close to halfback or you're at halfback, then you have your answer. Mm-hmm. It's simple as that. it don't get any simpler as that.
Yeah, because I noticed you were asked that a whole lot. Where are we at a clock? Where are we at? And to understand, you got the high, the low, the halfback. You only got three options, and you are right in the sense that two of them are wrong.
Oh, it's obvious that two of them are wrong. Always.
So at least you got a 33, what is that? A 33% chance with every trade, basically. When you really think about it. Because it's two of those choices is going to be wrong.
Well, actually 66%.
66%.
Right. You're 66% already ahead of the curve to make the correct decision.
And then if you combine that with where you at with the setup and understanding the formula and the progressions, wow, that makes a world of a difference. And I see the reason why you're just talking about just those simple subtleties.
Right.
And not including the Stangem line.
Right. The Stangem line is important too, though, especially if you're a scalper. Stangem line is very important, because if I was scalping right here, right, if we're watching the Stangem line, if I know I'm failing here, I'm selling. We come back, I'm selling, right? Like right here, we fall through it, we come back into it. It's the same. Remember, through it, retest, sweep. It's the same technique. What I'm teaching you is how to read price action and the technique, and you don't even realize it. Just using one, the Stangem line. We're not talking about the formula. We're not talking about the setup. We're not talking about any of that. We're just talking about the Stangem line. If you listen to what I'm saying, it's the same technique. We sell the Stangem line, right? We sell the Stangem line. Even if you sold here, you got a little bit of heat. But you still, look, if you sell the Stangem line, right? If you came through it, closed below it, sell the Stangem line. Can't get the Stangem line, sell it. We got red smoke.
And that's another thing then.
It's the same technique. It don't matter how you dice it up. There's 99 ways you can skin this cat. It's still the same answer. It's the same answer. It's moving averages. It's range. It's this indicator. It's the same answer. It blows my mind, but it's the same answer.
Yeah. But I go back and I think to myself, okay, because I know I took a loss on Mo.
On ES or what?
On the ES.
Okay, let me get the ES.
And then what I realized, and that was the one that I'm operating with honesty and transparency here. That's the one, of course, I was in a hurry, and I didn't have the full blown setup on it. And if I had it on there, I would have known that.
Okay, let's look at it here.
Okay.
We're on ES. Did I go back far enough? Are we back far enough? Or I need to go back?
Pull that up. And I can tell you the exact day.
I'll probably go back 3 days. Hang on. Let me go back 3 days. Here we go. Now let's go back to week to Sunday. Here we go. Boy, look at that Stangem line. Ooh,
yeah.
Bye.
Yeah, and that Stangem line helps a lot, especially if you're just learning the process. And like you said, there are so many subtleties, there's so many crutches that's that's here. You have alerts, you have Stangem line.
Yes, the alerts. The alerts on the 3 minute are gold. They keep you on the right side.
And what, you know what, and what has helped me a lot too is, I'm sitting there watching um, the actual live, and you see the 3 minute along with the Stangem line, along with the smoke coming out of the cloud that tells you if it's green, then it's definitely a go. If it's
You need
red,
to be
it's
looking, or at least looking for long, right?
yes.
Yes, that's the most important part. Looking for longs, looking for that pullback for a good entry into that whatever you want to call it, the moving average in the smoke. But you don't always get that pullback that we're looking for. Sometimes you just got to pull the trigger at clock. That's why clock is king. If I can't say anything else, clock is king. Where are we at clock? And that's why I say it doesn't matter when you set down the trade, because you need to look at that previous candle, because it's about the previous candle print. Whenever you take, I don't care if you wake up and you want to trade at 3:30, you look at the previous candle, high, low, halfback. Where are we at when you're ready to trade? Are we above halfback? Are we at the high? Or are we at the low? The candle forms just like the formula. I'm teaching you price action just by reading one candle.
So how does something like that look? If you're saying if it's 3:30 or 4 or 2, whatever, I'm sitting my butt down. How does that actually look? Would I do it on the 3 minute? Would I do it on the 15 minute?
I'm just looking at the 15-minute chart right here.
Okay.
Right? This candle right here. Let's put. I'm just picking a random candle. I'm just looking at it. Right? Let me do a range on this candle. Previous candle. Right? I'm sitting down. I'm getting ready to trade at 7:15. Are we above halfback? Are we below halfback? Low, high, halfback. What do we expect? Sweet. Do you get your? Did you? Do you get your? Ooh. Do you get your points? 5,100.
You get your points on it.
5,107. Do you get your 5 points?
So you get 5 points on
That's
that.
scalping. 5 points is scalping. Sitting at one candle. Pick another candle. Low, high. This is halfback. It's showing us right here. Does it dip below? Yes.
So you just have a little bit of heat on that one.
But where are we
just
at?
A little bit.
Remember, when you're sitting at the chair right here, where are we at? Are we at the high, or are we at the low, or are we at halfback?
We're at halfback.
The two that we're not at. We're not at the high. We're not at the low. We're at halfback. Buy that sucker. Where do we go? Look, 950. Do you get your 5 to 10 points off of one damn candle? One candle, 15-minute we're looking at. Do you understand why I get so damn excited? Yeah, one candle, 15 minutes, you're one and done. It's over with. The day's done. You got your money. You eliminated your risk in the market. This is the most important thing that everybody doesn't understand. It's the risk side.
Yeah.
You do not have to hold these trades, guys, gals. You do not have to hold. Get your points and do it again tomorrow, same time, same place. Clock. What I just put right here should blow everybody's mind.
Yeah, and honestly, I've seen you do that a couple times, and every time that you do it, I go, wow, and then my thought would be, okay, well, it works for you, and then I realize I'm able to execute that when I realize,
right. But let's look at context, right? Because we have Thursday's range, right? We're above high. What did they do? Got above it, got below it, But you get what I'm saying. Right here at this clock, what are we expecting? We're expecting it to continue up because this is holding, right? You hit target, you're out. But what happens? Oh, but it comes back down into it. Yeah. Why? Because this is the turn. The high couldn't hold. How do I know that? Because we went above it, we went below it, and we're retesting. And they can't hold. If this high doesn't hold, we're headed to here. Half back, 50 to 50.
And so you just said something that's very important.
Don't trust me on it. You got to back test it. You got to see it. But this is all from screen time. Now, I'm going to blow your mind because this could happen because they manipulate. We got a high. Hang on. Let's go to the high. Come on. Work with me. To the halfback. They could buy here because this is a micro halfback. They could buy here and dip into the daily halfback because this is halfback of the high and halfback. I'm squeezing it down. It's the same formula. It's the same technique. But if they buy here, what happens? They swept this low. We got equal lows right here. Do you understand the context? That's why you look left.
Okay.
So I would be expecting a buy right here. We don't necessarily have to get to here. We can. We wanted to, but they can buy it here, dip into, buy it, come back into halfback. Why? Because halfback is king, high, low, halfback, sweep to the bottom side. That is the right-hand side of the chart. This is what I'm teaching you. It's the same thing.
And you from looking at that, you can tell that that's going to be a fairly strong level there because you got two buy alerts at the 5094.
Got liquidity, right? This is what this is a new terminology that everybody likes to fucking put out there. Fucking liquidity. We got liquidity. Let's sweep liquidity and then go to the other side. Right? I'm just playing off of everybody else's terminology on Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, whatever you want to put out there. Telegram. It still works. It still works. Because think about it. If I was a buyer down here, what do I have to defend? If I bought down here and we're here and it starts to pull back, where do I have to defend? This level right here.
That halfback.
And if we can't defend here, we definitely have to defend here, right? There ain't no right here is if we can't hold this, we waving the white flag. We're gonna at least step in and try to buy here. Why? Hang on. Let's just do it. Daily halfback, previous day halfback. Right here. We in the zone. This is the zone right here. This is the zone. Stangem teaching y'all something today. This is the zone. What is that zone? That's the buy zone. We don't hold this zone right here. We headed down. We have to defend this level right here, this zone. No ifs, ands, and buts.
So now, Doc, how did you?
New York took profit.
Okay.
We expect we're at the highs. How we know we're at the highs? Because the damn chart tells us that we're at the highs. Right here. What does that chart say right here?
We're at the high. We're at the high.
It
even tells you.
You gotta trust the chart. Most people don't even trust the chart. They don't even understand what the chart's telling them. There's the high. Where's the freaking low at? I don't know. I don't know if I can go all the way back out. Right here. There's the low.
Wow.
Here's the low. Let's put a fib on it. Why not? Just why not? We got a low. We got a high. Right here's halfback. Well, I'll be damned. That's Thursday's range low.
Versus low. Yep.
Now you see where I'm going with it? This is the progression, guys. This is the progression. Can we get there? Absolutely. Are they going to send it there? I don't know. But I do know we're at the high. We failed the high. We should be headed to halfback. It can bounce here. We can bounce here to here. And see, here's the thing where clock is very important. Where we are at clock. This is how you should be setting up your chart. So we may not hit here till midnight or 2 a.m. And if it does, I'm expecting it to bounce to here and then roll over. You see where I'm going with it? This is the anticipation. This is where the 9 years of screen time comes in. You're not going to know this just by the setup, but the setup's going to keep you in the right direction. We're not holding a high. Look, low, high, halfback. We should be expecting a sweep. Even though we had a low, high, what was supposed to happen?
Halfback.
We're reading the left-hand side of the chart now, right? Low, high, what was supposed to happen? We already know halfback was supposed to happen. They manipulated. Now let's see if we do hit that. Where's halfback of this whole rotation right here? Well, let's just draw the fib on it. Low, high, oh, I'll be damned. Look.
Right there at it.
Height. Look what I'm showing you.
Right there at the zone.
The zone right here. We know if we fell here, we're headed to here, period. This is the zone. This is what we're anticipating. This shit's gold. It's gold.
Amazing. Every time I go through this, I'm like, I'm amazed.
It's gold, and we ain't even talked about 3 candle look backs, which nobody probably even understands what I'm even talking about because I've not explained it. But just that alone, is gold, right? Right? Because look, 1, 2, 3. Let's put trend line on it. 1, 2, 3. That's the hold to continue up. This level right here has to hold to continue up. 6,000. Just call it 6,000. Can't hold 6,000, we headed down.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because we got 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
And you remember earlier I was telling you I was struggling.
What I want to say first, Rodney, before you start, we swept. Now, if we reclaim this level right here, we headed up. I'm already anticipating that. I'm anticipating them to reclaim this. Now, can we go down a little deeper into the zone and then come back up? Yeah, I'm anticipating that because I know if this level holds, we're headed to where? Based off of 50 to 50, what I teach, if we hold right here, which is half of this to this, where are we going? Headed to area 51, right here. If we hold this level right here in the zone, we're headed to area 51. I rest my case.
Yeah. That's definitely understanding that progression. You have to truly understand and practice that progression.
Absolutely. And you notice all the fibs that I drew, because it's fibs, the fibs gives us the cheat sheet. Do I need it? No, because I know that if we have a low high and we hold halfback, we're sweeping the high side, period. And there's all of our levels. Look, 27, 28, 31. The sweep liquidity.
So for you know, I mean, for people that don't understand, what are you talking about in regards to sweeping liquidity?
Right here, because we have equal lows. Right here.
Okay.
Liquidity is equal. Look, we got a wick off of it. We got a wick off of it. Got a wick off of it. We got a wick off of it. We got a wick. What is that telling us? They're buying this level, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're buying, they're buying, they're buying, they're buying, they're buying. What happens when that level fails? They're going to sell. Got to get out of the position. They're underwater. It's not
So
going
then,
higher.
oh, okay. So then what you're basically saying is that when they're doing all that type of buying, they're accumulating, and
Right.
they're accumulating for a reason.
They're accumulating, right? They're accumulating, and then they do the what? The false flag, the misdirection,
Yes.
and then they go. They always look on a long. They're always accumulating above. Then they sweep. They sweep below. Then they come back up and reclaim. It's the same thing that we've been talking about.
And now that makes sense. That makes sense.
And now. I'm expecting this range to this level to hold, but it don't have to. They can come right back down into here. They can come back into the daily halfback and then go. But that's something you should be mindful of. But listen, we're only looking for 5 to 10 points.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get it?
Oh, yes.
I'm almost guaranteed you're gonna get your 5 to 10 points or more. 5 to 10 points or more.
And you know what I picked up as you were just talking about that, in the sense that, you know, sometimes I would get frustrated when I'm in a trade for a while because it's just constantly accumulating. and then and then and then all of a sudden it'll just go ahead and it'll pick that direction. It'll go long, and of course I'm trying to go short. But that's the reason why you have to leverage the setup combined with the formula. And your teaching really focus on the unique selling position, which is understanding which direction. And so for me, the thing that I have to work on is just when it's in an accumulation period, just be patient. Just be patient. Because if I do everything right, if I do my setup, do the formula, understand where I'm at, I'm going to come out on the winning side. And that's really truly taking the time to trust the process. But you first got to really learn the process. And then once you do learn it, trust it. And I know for me, that's been my biggest growth. Now I trust the process. And I've been winning a lot on my trades.
Yeah, but the trust process is only going to come from screen time.
Oh, and back testing everything.
But here's the thing. I don't want you just to take my word for it. That's not what I want. I want you to apply it and learn it. You know, I don't want to be a signal service. I don't want, even though we got the live stream alerts, it's a cheat code, but it's still, that whole program still shows you the low, high, halfback sweep. That's what those alerts are based off of. So if you don't understand it, even if you follow that, it's going to eventually, you keep following it, you're going to start seeing it.
Yes.
I understand what I'm talking about. You're not going to be lost. So let's get back to what have you been testing? What have you been testing this week?
So this week,
so let's talk about what you're testing.
So this week, I'm in just trying to understand the subtleties of the midnight process.
Right.
And so, and you know, I operate with honesty and transparency with you. There was a couple times the losses that I took, I didn't put the full setup on there because it would have told me what direction. I
Right.
tried to shortcut it. And what I mean by shortcutting it, not putting the full setup starting at the London close, putting the London close range and putting the 1445 halfback on there.
Right.
So I know you're going to get into me for that. And for people who are listening to this, do the full blown setup because
Right.
my loss. I mean, I could have easily looked and saw that once it bounced off the London close halfback, it was finna go long instead of.
Mhm.
And it's those little subtleties like that, or once it bounced off, or once it swept the 1445 halfback, it was a go. It was green.
Right.
It was ready to go.
Right.
And it makes no sense to try to short anything like that.
Correct. You're gonna be on the front side of the bus on that one.
Mm-hmm. And so I mean, I learned from that, and that's the reason I was like, yeah, if they're gonna do it, do the full blown setup. And I know, let me see, one of them was I think it was 221. I think that was a short. Yeah, that was 221.
That's 4 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. Right here. So what are we looking at?
So with that one, let me see here. Yeah. So right there, if without the setup on it, I was like, okay, it's gonna go, it has the potential to go long. But it was a short all day, and it was a short. And if you look at everything that was
That
setting
was
up,
a half day though. That was a half day because we had a holiday.
uh,
But that's all right. I mean, nothing changes. But
yeah,
that was a holiday. That was President's Day, Monday. That was a President's Day.
yeah, because with that one, I was like,
All
okay,
right.
and
So
I
let's look. I'm gonna put the rectangle on 1030 candle.
okay,
Let's do that. Right, because that's our barometer right here. All right, and I'm gonna put candle on the. We're gonna do the last candle print. If this gonna work with me here. Toss ain't gonna let me do it on an overlay. See if it lets me do an overlay. Let's put the gold on it because that's the last candle print. All right. Are we above it or below it?
so we're
On the
below.
setup. Right, just on the setup alone.
Okay, yep. So we're below.
So price opens below halfback. Look, where's the open? 24.87. Right here's the open. Right here. 24 says 87 right in here. 24.87, which is high as this candle. That's open. Right here's the last candle print halfback. Are we above it or are we below it?
We're below it.
We're below it. Is a sell. Just off of just off of what we know on the setup that I give you.
Mhm.
First candle print. Boom. Under Stangem line. First candle print. Let's put a box around it. Don't I say, oh, well, I don't want to trade the open of Asia. Okay. I'm going to wait till the first candle print. We're going to wait. What does the first candle print tell you?
Ah, okay. So the first candle print, I'm looking at it, and it breaks the box, so it's going to be a short.
If you waited, yes.
Mhm.
if you waited. But look at the previous rotation. What do we have? Got a high. We got a low. Where are we at clock?
And half back.
At half back. High, low, half back. What happened?
Sweep. Sweep.
It all ties in together. The formula, the setup, looking at last candle print, looking at 10:30 a.m. candle, looking at the first candle print. What we just showed right here, Rodney,
Mm-hmm.
priceless. Gold. This is gold. What we just went over right here is priceless in gold.
And you know what? And it truly is, in a sense that, because for me, there's times where I go, I'm not too sure about it.
That's okay. You can wait.
And then
I showed you that.
And then now my thought process is I'm just going to wait and be patient and wait on that first candle print.
You can do that. If you don't know where we're at on that last candle print, which is pretty obvious, we're below it. Even the whole candle. I mean, you could put a box around the whole candle. If we get below it, it's a short, right? I mean, let's 101. So look, that whole candle. We get above it, we're buying. We get below it, we're selling. Or we're below it.
Wow. Yeah, this is actually good. I mean, those nuggets that you just dropped, because there's times for me where I'm just not too sure, and now I'm like, okay, I do have a go-to tool, and that's going to be just to wait. Let me see how that first candle print at clock, and then put my box on it. And if it goes above it, I'll go long. If it goes
below, but here's the thing I want you to understand, though. We got 3 boxes here, and price ain't above 3 boxes.
Mm-hmm.
The power of 3, right?
Yes. Yep.
I just showed you 10:30, last candle print, first candle print, 3 different color boxes, and price is not above all 3.
So can you repeat that again? So there's 3 different boxes there. So we got what?
For this scenario right here, because it was a half a day. So we're looking at 10:30 candle. Hang on, let me mark it. Get it down to it. Something like that. Something like that. So you got 10:30 candle. We got the last candle print. We got the first candle print. We got 3 different boxes, 3 different colors. Is price above it or is price below it? Right here. You're like right here. I'm not chasing. Okay, we got a high, low,
half back. Time to go. Time to go, baby.
Can't even reach there. You wanted to reach here. I mean, for a perfect entry, you wanted to get into right here, but it don't happen. But what did they retest? They retested the first candle low right here.
Yep.
Get there. What's the clue? They did not get there. Right here. They did not get the first candle print. Rolled over.
Wow. And now for me, I'm able to see, okay, that second candle there, it's the body. The body actually breaks it.
Body breaks it.
So I know it's going down now.
Yeah, so you're waiting for that pullback to get a good entry, right? Because we don't want to buy the low or sell the low. We want to sell half back, right? Because that candle broke this candle. So this is a sell.
Yes. Time to go.
Because you know your weight, exactly. Because you're in the high, low, half back sweep.
And that gives you that confirmation. If you're not sure, only just on that first candle break, on that second candle breaking it, then at least on that third candle, it goes back to the half back. It retraces a little bit to the half back. That's your confirmation. Hey, go with it. It's going to work.
Exactly. But we also, if you're looking left, right, you gotta, this is our low. This is our high, low, high, half back, right in here. Supposed to go up. This is the misdirection.
Mm-hmm.
This is what we call the turn because it didn't happen, right?
Yes.
But we also know that price moves away from double tops and double bottoms. So you should have already been anticipating price to move away from the double top. And what are we going to target? We're
Oh,
going to target previous day low. What's the next target? Previous daily half back. See where I'm going with it?
yes. Yeah. Yeah. And that's an area that I'm definitely going to continue to work on.
Another previous day low. Did we get there? Barely. Barely swept it,
Yeah. Just
right?
a wick.
Then they swept it again and then took off. Why? Because they swept it, reclaimed. Once they reclaim it, this was a sweep right here. This was the reclaim right here.
So
Right here.
swept it
Right
and
here's
reclaimed.
right here's the zone.
Ah, I see it. Swept it, then reclaimed, and then it was time to go.
Yep. What the hell this is? Yes.
Ah, that makes sense. I see that.
Now that's a little deeper look back, but one, two, let's see, one, two, but you gotta understand we had half a day in there.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, honestly, this was the whole rotation right here. Low, high. This is supposed to be half back. They came a little deeper, but look, they held the low. So we have a higher low. What do we expect?
It to go. It's going long.
So this was a weekly low. How do I know that? Because we got one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's a week. 7 days is a week. And we did not sweep this low, made a higher low. We're headed up.
Okay. That was a good lesson, Doc. That
Right?
was good. Yeah.
Right. And I know we got off track with midnight open, but that's
No, no, this is good because as you know, the two markets that I'm starting to spend a little time on is both that midnight and that London close has been the market that has really been giving me more trouble, and because those subtleties are a little bit different and things move so much more quicker in that particular market.
right. Right.
And because you remember I was telling you about those extended wicks and the risks, and
Right.
so to understand just things that I can look at to be able to help me, really be able to laser focus on that direction are major advantages.
Right.
Because I mean, when I look at the Asia and the midnight market, those are slower. You can I'm gonna say it this way, you can make some mistakes in those, but with something that moves as quick as uh, that London close market during that time period, yeah, you have to really home in and understand what you're doing.
Right.
Because you can get 5 points, but you might be giving the market 5 points.
Right.
Because that day was short and it moved so quickly. And I was like, wow.
All right.
So
So this is what we're looking at on ES, right? We had a high. We're back inside of Thursday's range, right?
mm-hmm.
And I'm going to look at 1, to the third peak. Yeah, I know. I'm throwing it down, wrench in the whole thing, right?
the three peaks.
Right? Because I'm about threes, right?
Yes.
And look where we are.
Ah,
Low, high, halfback,
back.
sweep. And you see my progression anticipating, because here's the thing. Trading, you have to anticipate. It's the execution is part of anticipation. And what the setup shows you is where we should be at a specific clock.
Mm-hmm.
Because we should be expecting the pullback. Why? Because we had a hell of a run up,
Yes.
right? We had the low here, we had a hell of a run up. They tried to hold it. They fell in it. Why are they fell in it? Because we got buyers, right? We're all buyers right here. There's no sellers. Now we need sellers to match the price, right? So where are we at least going to go to? Right here. We had
To the halfback.
basically equal highs right here. They swept. They need to retest, right? So this is our zone. You see how it all matches up?
Yes.
What
And
I'm
that makes a lot of sense.
And that's the anticipation. But we know if this holds, we're headed to here though. But we're not holding. Now, can it hold? Yeah, it can bounce here and come back up. Right, because we got a high, low, that would be halfback. Again, that would double dip. Right? Everybody's trying to get the same price. That's the part everybody has to understand. You got three markets. Everybody wants to get the same price. You can't have one market get a price that the other two can't get. If that makes sense.
That makes sense.
The market is set up to be equal. It doesn't show favor to London. It doesn't show favor to New York, and it doesn't show favor to Asia. No market is better than the other.
So that's
They all work in tandem. They all work independent of each other.
Equilibrium, as
right.
I say. Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
So we swept these equal highs right here. We swept liquidity. Right? That's the new terminology.
That's the it word.
we got sweep liquidity. So if we swept liquidity, that means if liquidity doesn't hold, we're failing. But we should expect to come back to test liquidity. If that makes sense. I mean, that's not part of my teaching, but that's something that you should be expecting.
And I'm going to let you know, I'm definitely going to go back and listen to this several times.
Because
you dropped some nuggets.
But look where liquidity is. See, this is gold. This is gold right here.
The three peaks.
You don't need to know liquidity and all this, and sweep liquidity. Look, you don't need to know liquidity. Why? Why? Because of halfback right here. It's already telling you if halfback don't hold, we fell. Where are we going? Thursday's range low. This is the range for the next week. We're not holding the high. We're headed to here. We're headed to here. We could be headed to here into Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. Make the low of the week and take off. That's Stangem anticipating. Progression.
Yes. And that's what I was thinking. It's all progression.
It's all based on if halfback fails. If halfback holds, I know these equal highs hold. and we're headed higher,
Wow.
right? That's what the setup shows us.
Yes.
But see, I mean, I'm marking levels here. I'm just playing around, but see how it lines up with the setup. And actually, these need to be white because y'all know that I use white for Thursday's range. So he's right. Did I hit the right one? I don't think I did.
So, Doc, you had mentioned, so with the Thursday range, is that the range? Will that be the range for that next week that's coming?
Yes.
Okay.
Thursday displaces the range for the next week.
Whew. Priceless nugget right there.
So let me get this right here. I need to get my damn chart right. So these are there you go.
Okay.
So there's our Thursday's range, the white markers. Let me get the rest of this. I want to get the rest of this stuff off that I marked, so we're not confused. All these trend lines, but they're important as well. I'm taking them off, but they're important. They're important because I marked three candle look backs, and I'm telling you what, if y'all want to understand the three candle look back, I'm getting ready to do a series on that, and yeah, I'm going to charge for it, unfortunately.
Hey, that's going to be priceless.
I mean,
That has been that type of knowledge, priceless.
so here we're looking at it right here. So it's very important. I'm going to take this half back off. We know that was a rotation move, so we know we don't need it because we have the high, we have the low, and we have half back. So right here. Okay, we still ain't talking midnight open, Rodney.
That's okay. Hey, I'm making you aware. You're dropping some jewels in regards to just walking through the progressions and to see you go through and starting to get a better understanding of your thought process. Which in return, I mean, a couple of things I picked up is now I feel much more comfortable staying in the trade a little bit longer. When
Yes,
certain, outside of the 5 points, when there are certain conditions in place.
absolutely.
And now we're talking about zones and reaction at those zones. If those zones fail, hey, it's going to continue to go down. If I'm going short, if I'm looking to go long, that may be a great point for me to look. I mean, if the setup and if it's that clock, it may be a good time for me to look to take it long.
Right.
So these are all good things. And you mentioned the three peaks and being able to leverage that. I mean, you covered some
Right.
great.
But where was the three peaks? Right at halfback.
Mm-hmm.
See, it's just confluence. Gives you an extra added, okay, well, I could take it here. Right? I mean, it's the more things you see, but you don't need see this is the part that it plays on emotions of people. You don't need it all. All you need is one. If you can follow one rule, if you can't follow one rule, then you have the backup, right? That I'm giving you the backup plans. That's all the clues that I'm giving you is the backup plans. But it eventually tells you the same story that the first one told you
Mm-hmm.
because you didn't believe it. You see what I'm saying? You
Yes.
needed 2, 3, 4 confirmations, but it was the same thing from get go. You just didn't trust it.
And honestly, it's more or less of truly trusting the process.
It's that, but again, why I show multiple things, Rodney, is because everybody doesn't see things the same. So that's
Yeah.
why I tried to give multiple things that you can look at and key on, because you might not see what I'm saying. That's why I
Yeah.
give multiple clues, although it all ties into the same thing. If that
Well,
makes if
and
that
I'll
makes
tell you, I like the multiple clues in the sense that you're getting confirmation. Because in the beginning of doing this, I needed confirmation.
right,
So multiple clues will give you that. And once you get the confidence and stuff, it's like now, I mean, I may just execute on one rule and just stick with that. The one thing I will tell people to do, if you come up with one rule, stick with it.
yes, because that's your data, right? We need what?
Yes.
How many days of data we need, Rodney, for at least one rule?
So, I mean, you know me, I do
I
at
mean,
least three
personally, I
months.
only need 10 days
Yeah.
because
But for me, I always do. I mean, we started with 3 months. I continue. I've been with you now for over a year. I still go with. I mean, I still go with 3 months. So
right,
when I come bring information to you, I track it at least 3 months, so we're able to dive deeper into it.
right.
But I'm hoping that there'll be a time period where I'm able to do 10 days. But I mean, it's just it's just me getting much more comfortable
Right,
with
or
processing
45
that
days,
data.
and a half. Try
Yeah.
to do 45 days and see if you
Okay.
can get the same results.
Okay.
Because I don't want you guys spending, I mean, although it's valuable, I'm not gonna tell you that's not valuable. Go back 90 days, because it is. But once you start to see it, you're like, this is working. Then you need to shorten it. Do your 45. Start shortening it.
Okay. And that's it.
No,
And
if
that's
45 is working, the short to 45, right?
mm-hmm. And
That's
honestly,
22. That's 22 and a half, you know.
that's it.
Then you short, so everything's working, and you start shorting the 22 and a half to what? 11, 25, 11 and 25 days. You're eventually going to start. That's why I only look back 10 days
Yeah.
on
But you have to
anybody
make the
on back 10
progression.
days, because that's enough for me. The 10 days is
Yeah.
100%. If the winning is 8 days out of 10, I know I'm good.
Yeah. But you know, the thought process is like, I mean, I definitely respect that going from 90 to 45,
Because of time,
making a
because our
making
time is valuable. I want you to be able to accelerate your back testing.
yes, but it's making that progression.
Right. But the screen time is valuable. I'm not going to say going back 90 days every time. That screen time is, I cannot stress. Everybody
Oh
needs
yeah.
to be putting in time on screen time. Looking left on the chart per the setup. What I'm showing right here, just this setup right here on Thursdays, you need to be going back every day, drawing this out every week on Thursday for the last 3 months. I guarantee you're going to get value in it.
And you know what, Doc, I will tell you this. I know early on in my trading career, I would look at charts, but I wouldn't know. You can look at charts, but the thing that I really learned from you is now I look at charts with a plan,
Right,
and I'm back testing with a plan.
right,
And I know critical data that I need to extract from that chart. Early on, I used to just look at charts and would just extract whatever I would hear on the internet. And with working with you now, I'm able to look at the charts. I know what data I need to extract from those charts. And now I know how to place it into a format that we can use. And you're able to look at it and be able to understand what areas I'm weak in. And now I'm able to look at it and see what areas I'm weak in. Or better yet, I'm able to be able to use it to make me into a much better and confident trader.
right. Yeah, this has been a great session, but like I said, we still ain't hit midnight open yet.
That's okay. But you know what? But at least we took the time to, because that London close is so funny. You know, just from working with me, you knew that London close. We needed to really talk about that because that's the one that can really, if you get in that trade and you're on the wrong side, things can happen extremely quickly.
Yes. Yes. So let's just I don't think I even have a setup on the I don't think I have a setup on the London close.
Mm-mm, I mean, we're good. This was good.
I mean, let's go back and look at it. Because you understand why I started looking at Thursday, because Thursday happened already,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that's the only reason why I haven't done the setup yet. Now, y'all know I'm going to do the setup because it's going to. We're on the 15-minute, so let's just do the setup, right? My drawings. Let's get the block. So we're looking at that's 10, 15. Here's 10:30, right? So here's our high right here. Going into 1400. That's all I want to know. 1400 low. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm showing everybody what I do. This is my process.
And so this is something that we do every night.
This is something we do every night before the night session, right? This is our setup for what? For the whole day of the next day. This is the whole day of the next day. Look, but see what we talked about earlier and where we are in our zone? I left
Yeah.
it there, right? All right.
Mm-hmm.
So this is our breakout line. Breakdown line. Duplicate. This is our breakout line. London close range, right? High, low, halfback. But I want you to key on the wicks. The wicks. How many times have I told you wicks tell the story?
Yes.
High, low. This is halfback. Look how many wicks. 1, 2 can't get there. 3, 4 wicks. Well, we talked about a 4-wick lick. Head to the other side.
Yeah, them 4 weeks told the story there.
Yep. And we're going to sweep liquidity. I expect it to come down in this range right here. Can we continue lower down in it? We just have to wait and see where we are at clock. We know we're going to sweep here. Dadgummit. We know we're going to sweep.
It drives me crazy.
Toss. Oh, man. Dadgummit. There we go. But you get where I'm going with it.
Mm-hmm.
So we already anticipate. I already drew out the zone from what we discussed earlier off of the clues. So, but can we come on down deeper? Can we come on down deeper to here? Yeah, because this is the last red candle on the whole freaking this whole run up right here. This is the last red candle. All right. So what does that mean, Dodge? What are you talking about? Last red candle. Okay. Well, let's just do. I mean, I'm just dropping gold nuggets everywhere. Right here, red candle, right? Is that right?
Yep.
Last red candle. Come on. Last red candle. Not working with me, toss. Last red candle. Remove. Why you not? I'm not on the money. I'm on the kid.
They've been doing some upgrades in there too. So over the
Yeah,
weekend.
swab, all that was swab and everything. Let's see here. All right, so that's our last red candle. Right here is the last candle up on the upside. Right? Are we in?
Mm-hmm.
Are we in agreement?
Yes, we are in agreement.
We can come to halfback to here. It can. If this don't hold, this don't hold, this don't hold, we can come to here. We already know Thursday's range halfback is here, so we should already be anticipating to here. Why? Because the high didn't hold. So Thursday's range right here. Well, how you know that, Dob? How you know that? Because we swept it, came down through it, retested. We're not holding it anymore. I just gave you targets. Target, 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 targets. If it gets that far. Right? So let's put a previous day midnight open, since we're talking about, we're going to talk about midnight open, and we ain't even discussed it the whole session today. Oh,
Well, but you know what, you did a great job in regards to addressing the issue that I was having with that London close piece.
right.
And you dropped a whole there's some good nuggets that was dropped in here in regards to the progression, and just we talked about targets, and those are all things that, I mean, I struggle with, and I'm sure a lot of folks struggle with understanding the targets. We covered some things about entries.
Yes. Lots of things. But if we are below previous midnight open, there ain't a buy. Right?
Mm-hmm.
If we're not above previous day midnight open, we're not a buy.
Okay.
Which was Friday. Where's Thursday's midnight open? Oh, I'll be down.
Oh, it's all the way down.
Nah, can't be. Can't be, Rodney.
Okay.
Thursday's range low?
Mm-hmm. Is where midnight opens at.
Can't be. So if they bought here, it ran up, is midnight taking profit into halfback? Are they going to take 50% profit?
Oh, wow.
Where are we going to be at clock at midnight? Somebody guess. Off of this session, will we be at halfback, or will we be on the low side in the zone? Where will we be? I guess time will tell.
Uh-huh. Wow.
I guess time will tell.
So that's the reason why that Thursday is so important.
Thursdays is very important because that's your zone for the week, for the following week. This is our range. We already swept high side. No, what? Thursday already printed for next week. We already swept high side right here. We're failing. We're headed to halfback. Halfback folds. We're headed to the low. Halfback holds. We headed to the high. That's simple. That's simple. But I want to go back and look at what I've been tracking for over a year. Look where we at on the higher time frame. This is the weekly. I can zoom in on the month. I normally post what I've been seeing on the month, but I dialed it down for the week. What are we expecting? What are they doing? High, low, halfback sweep. It just swept here. So can we come back down to here, reclaim this high to get the halfback to extreme target? We've already took out 2 targets that I showed y'all. This was January. I posted this chart in January, end of December, actually, where we were headed. This is just context of the overall move. You don't have to know it.
That's good to understand.
Every day setup is going to keep you in the right direction, period. But it's all in time. It's going to give you the same result. Whether you're looking at the monthly, whether you're looking at the weekly, whether you're looking at, whether you're looking at 3-day look back, whether you're looking at the daily, whether you're looking at the 2-hour, 8-hour chart, which I know none of you are looking at 8-hour and 2-hour charts, looking at the 1 hour, 30-minute, 15-minute, 5-minute. I don't care if you're looking at the 1 minute. I don't care if you're looking at the 30-second chart. It's all going to show you the same picture. Period.
Wow.
Remember, we're always looking to eliminate our time in the market. Why? Because that is risk, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anytime we take a trade, the time we are in the market is risk. You want to eliminate the time that you're in the market, period. And that's what I'm showing you. I'm showing you price action. I'm showing you how to read price action. I'm showing you how to navigate price action. I'm showing you how to risk. I'm showing you how to mitigate risk. I'm showing you how to eliminate risk. All by the setup, the formula, and all the clues that I give. And we ain't even touched on 24, 55, and 96. The only 3 numbers you need. Which I need to do a whole series. I need to do a whole series video just on that alone. I don't think everyone understands what I'm talking about. 24, 55, and 96.
No, I would say that that and the 3 candle look back.
Ooh. That has been a lot right there.
Yeah, that
right there is like fucking gives me chill bumps.
Yes, that's been working. You had asked me how that's been working. That's been working awesome.
Okay, awesome. So let's talk about your back testing. What have you been back testing? And tell us what you got and what kind of results you've had.
So I like with that the 3 candle look back. That's really not, I'm glad I reached out and got a little clarity on that this week. The entries on that have been really good. I don't have the numbers, but the 3 candle, my interest has really been dealing with the 3 candle look back compared to me just getting in. The 3 candle look back has allowed me to be able to get my 5 profits, my 5 points. It has really gave me some stability in regards to my entries. And that was an area that I struggled on, because I always struggle with where should I entry at, and I wasn't too sure. But to be able to leverage that, it has made a world of a difference. The other piece that I brought in was if it didn't hit my 3 candle look back line, I just don't take it, and I'm okay with that. but I wanted to start really working on having one rule for my entries compared to, I mean, I looked at when I would lose, I had several different rules for my entries. And now by just focusing and just saying, that's going to be my rule. If it hit it, I take it. If it don't, I'm okay. Because you talked about earlier, you know, in regards to the more time we're in the market, there's risk behind it. And so I really want to focus on, minimizing my risk and maximizing my profit. And that has allowed me to be able to do it.
Right.
So, and definitely now that you mentioned it, to zone it down from 90 to 45. I know the next time we talk, and we can touch on that, and I'll definitely go into more detail in regards to.
Because time's important, Ronnie, right? I mean, time is
Yes.
the most valuable asset that we have, right? Because we got to eliminate time.
Yep.
Although we trade time, we got to eliminate time on the charts. So that's the main goal. We don't want to be on the charts all the time.
Oh yeah. I agree. I want to live my life.
Exactly.
And
We got to get there. We got to get there.
So this has been, man, this has been good. This has been good. You had mentioned something earlier about that midnight. I think you stated if the previous midnight open is at the low, it's gonna probably, the next midnight open is not gonna be lower than that, or something you had briefly mentioned about that.
We're looking at previous midnight. If we're above it, we're bullish. If we're below it, we're bearish.
Okay, all right, that's what you mentioned.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
That's what I'm trying to say. So this day right here, let's just say this day, because let's see, right here. So let's go to midnight, right? This is midnight, right here. Let's look at Wednesday midnight. Really? Is Stangem doing this? Gold nuggets. Gold nuggets. Really? Really, really, really. But it's not any different than what I've been saying. It's no damn different. What I've been saying. There you go. Previous day, midnight open right here. Asia opens. Are we above it? Are we below it?
So that's going to be above.
Asia opens above it or below it?
Oh, so Asia Open is above it.
We're at the low. Midnight is at the low. Sweep, reclaim,
Go.
go. No, surely not.
So Doc, what you just showed, that was the previous midnight
Of that day, right?
of that day.
We was looking at it. I zoomed out. I didn't want y'all to see to the right.
And then
We looked at previous day right here, coming into Asia Open. We're above previous day.
Oh, okay.
Hey, hang on. Let's do it again. We got some skeptics, right? Got some skeptics.
Well, I'll be honest, you got me. I'm like, oh, wow, what just happened there?
Right here. So let's go to, oh man, boy. You gotta stop this shit. You gotta stop this shit. You gotta stop dropping all these gold coins. You gotta stop it. You gotta stop it. All right. So here's the next one. Right? Coming in in the Asia Open. Are we above it or below it? Right here. Right here's the line, Asia Open. We above midnight, previous day midnight. Are we above it or below it?
So we're going to be above that.
We're below it.
Oh, sorry.
It. Yeah, right.
Okay.
We're below it. So what do you expect? Sold off.
Oh, wow. Okay, so break that down. So
but look, high, low, half back. You already should have been expecting the sweep of this low. Just another confluence. It all lines up.
So what does that mean? So if the previous day midnight
it don't matter. That's what I'm just trying to tell you. Because we have a high, low, half back. What do? We sweep the low. Do we get above the low and reclaim? Yes,
yeah, we do.
Right here.
We
look,
do.
Not above it. Right here's the test. Right here on that damn wick. Right here. Right here's the wick. Nah, it can't be on that fucking zone right there I just drew.
Wow.
No, it can't be, right? No. The market's random. It shouldn't happen that way. I should know exactly where the damn market's going.
Wow.
Swept the low.
Reclaim.
Came below this low. Shot up. What'd they do? They retested the low, the 3 candle look back right here. 1, 2, 3. Let's draw it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Wow.
How much heat you take? Hang on now. That price is, let's just say 75.50. What's the low of this candle right here? 73.25. Less than 2-point heat. Yeah.
Amazing.
At clock, end of day, they hold the market up because we already swept the lows. It's all about progression. Previous day. When did they sweep the low or high of previous day? What clock? They waited till New York. Just happened to be New York this day to sweep the low. New York bought it up. If New York's buying, what's everybody else doing?
Wow.
Everybody else gonna buy it. That's what.
They're gonna buy.
Everybody's following suit to New York. The market does not sell till New York says it's time to sell. USA is king. Period. They are king. Everybody else follows suit.
All right. Doc, you done dropped enough nuggets on me. My brain is like, wow. So I'm in the room.
Okay, we'll do a recap on me on how many nuggets I've dropped today.
Oh. Yeah, I can tell you. So we talked about the progressions. We talked about profits. We talked about zones. We talked about liquidity. We talked about accumulation. You know, we talked about utilizing the Thursday, the high and the low and the half back of that. We talked about leveraging the previous day Mo to understand what the current Mo is going to be. We talked about the alerts and how to leverage them.
Man.
To be able to track the high, the low, the halfback of that. We even talked about just straight utilizing the alerts. we talked about leveraging the fibs. We went back and you took the time to put up the setup so people can actually see the setup along with the levels and how they interact off of those levels and how accurate the setup and the formula. When you combine both of those, it works extremely well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, wow. We look, and then we even took the time to you went over the 1030 piece. You put some we put the box on the 1030 candle. We
Mm-hmm.
turned back around and you were like, hey, you can even leverage the 1045 candle. So you actually did 3 boxes, one on the 1015, one on the 1030, and one on the 1045.
Right.
So if you don't know what direction, you just simply take whatever one that breaks those 3 boxes and you're gonna be good.
Right.
So if you got people that's looking for confirmation, that's a good that I mean you drop some nuggets. This was good. Yeah, yeah. My brain is like, wow, and I can't believe I was able to remember all that. so
Not showing you the midnight open, previous day midnight open, right? And the current setup going into tonight. Right here, I've got it marked, right? We got it highlighted. This is the before shot, by the way. I even show you the free candle look back. 1, 2, 3.
oh yeah, but you
1,
you
2, 3.
that's gonna be too much for people.
I
You
know,
have to,
I know that. And
yeah,
but they're
that
not going to see the video at this point yet, but they're going to hear the audio. I got people reaching out there. Oh, I need to see the video. I bet you do. I bet you do.
because that three,
That information is valuable.
yes,
I hate to say it, but I need a charge for it because
yeah,
this is all from screen time. 9 years of screen time.
yeah, because I mean, you know, I hit you up several times. I'm like, I'm struggling. I'm good in a trade, but I was struggling with the entry in regards to where I want to go in at. And then, as you know, once you get FOMO, once you hesitate, nothing good happens out of it. You start
Oh,
chasing it.
right, right.
So it's like now my rule is if it hits it, I take it. If it don't hit it, I don't take it. I'm
Right.
okay.
But where do we want to buy? We literally want to buy half back or low. Where do we want to sell? We want to sell high or half back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's the rule, period. That's what I teach. Period.
And if people just took the time to just execute that, especially with your entries and understanding, for me, I had to go, you know, I have a big note. It says, where are you at? Because that's one of the questions you constantly always ask me. Okay, Rodney, where are you at clock?
Where are we at clock?
Where are we at clock?
Important.
I'm not worried about everything else, but where are we at clock? Are
Right.
we at the high? Are we at the low? Or are we in the middle?
Depending on what you're looking at. Range,
Yes.
candle, 1030, it don't matter. Whatever you're looking at, it can be the previous candle. That's how important this is. That's what everybody don't understand how. This is freaking phenomenal gold bars, gold coins, because it's fractal. It doesn't matter. You can look at the previous candle. When you get ready to put your ass in the chair to trade, you look at the previous candle. Where you at? Where's price at? Is it above it? Is it below it? Or is it a half back of that previous candle? Period.
And you took the time to address people who want to scalp. If you want to scalp, you're able to do that with the system.
Yeah, definitely.
And you know, for me, this is the first time I've heard you even mention scalping. But this time you talked about that and how they can execute at a high level of accuracy with that, if that's what they want to do.
Exactly. Just looking at the previous candle.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what time frame you're on. 1 minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Just looking at the previous candle. High, low, half back. Period. The formula. Stangem's formula.
Yeah, I'm excited to execute. As you know, I will post you. And hey, if they want to see my results, you need to be in the room.
Yeah.
Because I will turn back around and post my results of testing.
Absolutely.
So I mean, my biggest takeaway is definitely in regards to that the London closed market, how I'm going to be operating with that, and definitely I'm going to incorporate the previous day mode into my process, and I'm going to start putting that Thursday on my charts.
Yep.
I had got a little lazy, and then it came back to bite me.
Right.
And so I highly recommend you have to do the setup and do the full blown setup every night. Don't try to shortcut it, because my two losing trades, I lost one last week and one a week before, and I look back, I didn't put the full setup on there.
Right. No, you can't shortcut it. I mean, hey, sometimes I even do it, Rodney. I'm not gonna lie. I try to get in a trade and I ain't even done the setup because a lot of times I'm at work and I ain't had time to do setup properly, and I'm guessing. You know what? Every time I do that, I end up getting burned.
And for me,
you know what? And I look back, I was like, "You dumbass! You didn't fucking do the setup." Well, yeah,
yes,
I'm not at home to do the setup, but yeah, I see it. Yeah, that was obvious. That was stupid. What the hell was I thinking? Just taking a trade blindly. We all do it. We all do it.
And so, I mean,
for me, set up. You gotta set up.
You have to.
You have to. You have to set up.
I mean,
it'll keep you in the right direction.
Yes, and you mentioned something that's very important. The trades that you lost on, you didn't fully set up.
Yep.
So I mean, the trades, and this is with us not even talking about it. The trades that I lost on, I didn't fully set up.
Right.
So there was a pattern. There was a pattern right there. You have to fully set up, and what you're telling people to do.
That's the FOMO side, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm at work, I know it's clock, it's the market's opening, and I'm just blindly taking a trade, and I don't even have no damn clue what we're doing. Basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't have no clue because I didn't set up.
Yeah. And you're like, I got to get in. It looks good.
Right. I mean, yeah, kind of. I've got a little background. I know what you know what I'm saying? I kind of know, but I didn't do the setup because the setup is the micro.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's the micro for the and yep, burns me every damn time.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah. So now my rule is if I'm not set up, I'm not going to take it. That's what I'm going to stick by.
That's a good rule. I like that rule.
Because when I looked at,
until you go back, it takes the time that night to do the setup, and then you're gonna now I can take a trade off of that. Right? At 8, 9, 10, 11 o'clock.
Yeah. And honestly,
but don't take a trade until you do the setup.
Yeah. And that's the reason why for me, for new people that come into the room, post your charts in the room. Post your charts. Do it automatically. As you know, now I do mine automatically. I post them in the room. And just doing that, it forces me to do it because I'm like, hey, Doc, I'm going to be posting my charts in the room. You're like, okay, well, you need to post around this time. Boom, I put them in there. And that has made a world of a difference because now I go, you know what? I got it. It's not about me. It's about helping others.
Right.
Which in return, it also it helps me.
Right. Absolutely. We're all helping each other. I might miss something. I'm not perfect. Okay, am I perfect or this trading strategy is perfect?
And it's just like
gonna see something, but I want somebody to see the loophole. If there is a loophole in my strategy, I want them to show me.
Yeah.
Show me. I want to see it.
Oh yeah. So people that hear this, definitely take the time, join the room, post your charts, Because some of the best assistants that I've gotten, and the reason I've been able to grow is from posting those charts. And Doc, getting your feedback and getting how you look at things has allowed me to grow. I would say 10x, because
Right.
it has made a world of a difference. And as you know, it's made a world of difference in my confidence and just putting together a trading plan.
Right.
I mean,
And it's going to shorten the learning curve, because you've been trading futures how long now, Ronnie? Right at a year?
right, yeah, right at a year.
Right at a year. Right at a year.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to shorten the learning curve, no doubt. No doubt.
And it just made a world of a difference in my confidence. I mean, I can tell you now, I mean, before I wasn't tracking like what I should. And now I track everything. And a lot of times I do it and I turn back around and submit the feedback over to you. And then you're able to look at it and, correct it. Show me how to correct it, which has made a
So key
world of a
note
difference.
is, if anyone else is listening in the room or whatever, if you're doing your work, you don't understand it, I'm always willing to look at it and give you feedback. That's part of it. It's part of the process. I'm willing to do that. I don't
Well,
have a problem doing that.
I like the one thing that you said earlier, and this was to the room. You were like, okay, I'm giving out the assignments. How do I know that you all are doing it? The only way that I know that you're doing it is when you post it in the room.
Right.
And then, if you don't post it in the room, I don't know if you need any help.
Yeah, I don't know if you need that. I don't know if you're getting it.
So for me, I mean, I operate with honesty and transparency. I post my charts and I let you know if it's, like,
Right.
hey, I
It's
know.
okay if you don't get it. I know. I understand. I completely understand. If you don't get it, ask
Well,
questions. Show me your chart. I need to see what you're seeing.
that's like with that one setup I posted and I sent it over, and you were like, hey, your thought process was right, but this is what you were missing.
Right.
And I was like, oh, okay, now I see it. So if people are doubting that it works, I mean, you're right. I've been trading it for a year, and I operate probably about over 80% accuracy. When I do everything, I think it's maybe 83, 87% accuracy rate. I'll take that.
Oh yeah. Anything over 50, I'll take.
Yeah. I'm able to stay in trades longer. I went from like 1 point, I was scalping everything, to where I constantly do 4 points. And now with today that we talked about in regards to understanding those targets, now I'm able to, I've already put in my mind, I'm going to stay in there longer. I'm going to go in with 2 ESs and leave one on for a runner. I get my 4 points and leave one on for a runner.
Right.
And now at least I know where I need to leave it on to.
Right. Do you move to break even so you don't lose on that second one?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yes, that's key.
Yeah.
Because that's a free play. I mean, at that point, it's a free play.
Yeah, and that's something else I had to, because I would go, okay, let me just wait.
And that free play is, you got to remember, what is your risk tolerance? Do I close it at 5 points, 10 points? Am I looking for 15, 20? It's all dependent on the setup, and it should give you the clue what you're looking at as target.
But understanding how to project your targets, what you covered today in regards to how to be able to do that, is going to help. It's going to help.
Right.
With staying, keeping that one on and staying in it longer. And that's, to me, that's work. That's priceless right there. Because you want to let your winners run as long as you did mention something, that's free money.
Yeah. Yep.
So this was good. This was good, Doc. This was good. I'm motivated now. I'm excited about the Asian market.
Yeah, I am too. I'm ready. I'm ready to kill it. I'm ready
Um,
to kill it. So, I'm bringing it up just so everybody's wondering where I'm at on the blue sky competition. I'm still hanging in there at first place. We got 4 days left. Let's see if I can bring home the bacon. That first place, $1,000 bonus and a live account. I don't know. I guess we got 4 days to see.
days. So we will know by what, Thursday?
We should know by Friday, right?
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, Friday,
By
Friday.
Friday.
I'm trying to hang in there. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Stangem trading against a bunch of traders around the world in that blue sky competition.
So you're gonna
I'm
be
just trying to have fun. It's all fun. As me and you talk, Ronnie. This was a rough week for me. I've been on 12s all week.
notice.
So I've not had much time to trade this week. I've had to dial it back, but it's okay. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Well, and definitely thank you, and I truly appreciate you for taking the time and what you have done for both me and Michelle
Right.
in regards to our trading.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. You know
Because,
me.
I
You
mean,
once you see it, you want to share it, but yet there's only going to be so many people that's receptive to receive it.
mhm. And honestly, you're gonna have to throw
Honestly, that's
away.
why the room's small. I mean, and I'm okay with it.
Yeah,
I'm okay if we never get past 30 people. I'm okay with it. You know. So
but I think especially how you operate with transparency, honesty, you show some vulnerability, it makes a world of a difference. And once people come into that room, they start to see that you operate differently, that you do care.
right, right,
Because the information that we're picking up, it truly is, it's life changing, and it has the ability to be able to affect your legacy. And
right.
that's the main reason both me and Michelle do it. It's yeah, you know, it's not really about us. It's about how we're building things out for our kids and our grandkids.
Exactly. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So Doc, I'm not gonna hold too much long because I know you got to get ready for our Asian market.
Yeah. I'm gonna be ready. I'm gonna be ready.
And I'm so ready. I sent you my charts on
Ready.
Friday.
Ready.
I,
Oh, I know you ready. You back testing on a damn Friday night, Saturday morning, early. I'm like, damn.
but you know what? That's the power of the knowledge that I'm picking up. It makes you excited.
Right.
And
Yep.
so, when you start learning stuff and you start believing it and you're starting to see results, that should get people excited.
Absolutely.
So, but hey, I'm good, man. You dropped some great nuggets. I'm excited. I'm excited
Yeah,
about this.
I'm looking forward to go back and replaying and listening to it. To be honest, because there's some many go nuggets today. Many go nuggets.
Yeah. Yeah.
And although we didn't really touch on the midnight open, but just a little bit, so hopefully next time we can dive a bit deeper in the midnight open all by itself.
Yeah,
But
and you know what'll be good with that is I'm able to. You gave me some nuggets in regards to things that you want me to do in regards to that midnight open piece. So I'm able to go in there and test those out. And then next time we meet up, I have some results and we can talk. We can go through the midnight process, and then from there we can talk about the results that I picked up, and then you can get a chance to break. We can get a chance to break down that data and make some changes to it.
absolutely,
So
absolutely.
I'm good, Doc. You got anything else?
No, I'm good. I'll see you in the room.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. You take care.
Awesome.
And let's kill that Asian market tonight.
All right, man. Love you.
Love you. You take care.